Introducing Instagram Teen Accounts, a new way to keep your teen safer as they grow, like making sure they always have their seatbelt on.
All right, sweetie pie, buckle up. Good job.
Or ring the bell on their bike.
Okay, kid, give it a try. Nice.
Or remember their elbow pads.
Knees too, okay? Yep. There you go.
New Instagram Teen Accounts. Automatic protections for who can contact your teen and the content they can see.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smarter with high-tech features and excellent reliability. Check out the Honda Civic, Accord, or HR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 4.99% APR on a 2025 Civic or a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Accord or HR-V.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.
Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run, the Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you're something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, or even if you just want to outsmart me on something I said, go ahead, shoot us a quick take, 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. And then shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code TheRunPodcast. Now, this code can only be applied for first-time users on the mobile app or website. So it's a lot of NBA games still going on. So go ahead, save yourself $20, man. Treat yourself to a game or something. However, the season is heating up in the West. And a lot of people talk about, I don't give no love to the Western Conference teams. All I talk about is the Pistons and those guys on the East and what they're doing, the Knicks, the Bucks, and the rest of those guys on the East. But, I kind of want to shed some light over on what's happening out West, because we got quite the battle happening out West. And personally, I do feel like I shed some light over there. But I'm not going to go back and forth, whatever. But anyway, you got a lot of teams between the second seed all the way down to the seventh seed where it's like close. It's like a 4-game difference, really. The second seed right now is Houston Rockets. Third is Denver Nuggets. Fourth is the Los Angeles Lakers. Fifth, Memphis Grizzlies. Sixth, Golden State Warriors. 7, Minnesota Timberwolves. 8, LA Clippers. Obviously, 7 and 8 is in contention for a play-in game, but I think both of those teams would handle themselves well in a play-in situation, considering they would play the Sacramento Kings, who have really been struggling, and also the Dallas Mavericks, who's another team that really hasn't had anything figured. I mean, Dallas has fell apart completely after trading Luka Doncic. So, I wouldn't be worried about them winning anything in a play-in. And you honestly can expect the Phoenix Suns to crawl into the play-in some way, because they're talking about Dallas possibly having to forfeit games and stuff because they don't have anybody there. Enough players aren't active to actually play the game. So it's wild, man. A lot of different stuff going on over there. But however, one of the teams that stick out to me in the Western Conference, the Golden State Warriors. Now, the Golden State Warriors are in a very unique situation. 6th seed right now. Couple games below the Grizzlies and also below the Lakers right now. So the seeding is going to fluctuate for sure in this last little 14, 15 game period with all of these different teams. But I think the Warriors, they started off the season very rough. They weren't really good. A lot of people gave them a lot of shade because they're like, oh, Steph Curry is done, Draymond done, Warriors washed, count the Warriors out completely. They're not going to accomplish anything at all. Then this whole Jimmy Butler trade happens, and now you see the Warriors start to turn it up a notch. They won 8 of their last 10 games so far, and looking at their schedule going out into this last final stretch of the season, they should be able to maintain 6th seed at a minimum. I think the toughest team they got to play on the back end of the season, they play the Bucks tonight, which is going to be a good battle. But Western Conference teams, the Lakers, Denver Nuggets, Rockets. That's it. And they finish off with the Clippers. So they have a very, winnable type of stretch to get some momentum going into the playoffs. Now, the thing I think they're going to be underestimated in is their defensive ability, because immediately people hear the Warriors and they think, oh, the scoring isn't there like it used to be. The scoring isn't there like it once was. The scoring isn't where it needs to be to hang with an OKC, to hang with these other elite teams in the Western Conference, which I'm open to accepting any argument of that. Like, I'm not going to sit here and debate back and forth with anybody saying the Nuggets can outscore the Warriors, which is true. But the Warriors still have a lot of upside in their game. I mean, so far right now, they're 4th in rebounds per game. They're 2nd in steals in the last 10 games that they played. So they've really cranked up their defensive intensity. And the biggest part and the biggest thing I've noticed with the Warriors is, despite what people say about the scoring, yes, a lot of it weighs on Steph Curry, but Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler, those guys can be so effective in multiple different ways. And all you need is for Jimmy Butler to start getting rolling on the offensive end, and it's over with. And if Draymond Green is aggressive, hitting his floaters, hitting his mid-range jumpers, and God forbid, if Draymond Green is hitting 3-pointers, you can just count it as an L in your column playing against the Warriors, because when Steph Curry is making his shots, Jimmy Butler is doing what he's doing, distributing and getting others involved and taking advantage of the easy buckets that he's getting, and Draymond is knocking threes down, yeah, it's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. So this is one of the underrated elements in the Warriors game here. And then you got to remember, too, you got Buddy Hield there. Buddy Hield, I mean, he's been a silent killer so far for the Warriors. I know statistically it doesn't show that he's doing this and doing that. He's not giving you the big numbers per game statistically. He's only averaging 11 points, but he's damn sure effective with shooting the ball and just being a threat on the offensive end and drawing a lot of attention to a defense when he's out on the floor. So they have the team. And one of the things with the Warriors, too, that I will vouch for them for is, not only do they have the team, they got just about every element you would need in order to win in the playoffs. Multiple guys got playoff experience. They're led by a star that has multiple championships. The co-star in Draymond Green has multiple championships. Jimmy Butler has been to the finals multiple times. Plenty of playoff experience. When you talk about guys who know how to lock in and take care of business in the playoffs, the Golden State Warriors have that. So if they do run into an inexperienced Rockets team who don't have much playoff experience, or they run into an OKC team as well, who I think is still just very young and won't be able to maintain their composure playing against a star in Steph Curry and the rest of those guys, like that's the only way, where I'm like, Warriors, they have a good shot. And that's the only way I see the Warriors possibly losing, is if they run into a Denver Nuggets like right now they would potentially match up against. If they play the Nuggets, then I think they're screwed. Best bet for the Warriors, you want to target and you want to hopefully you land up against one of these young teams, meaning the Oklahoma City Thunder, Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets would probably be marvelous, but obviously we know Warriors would have to drop down to the play-in and eventually, risk having to get the boot and all of that stuff. But, even with OKC, like 2nd round, 3rd round, whatever, like they match up against OKC, I think Warriors is good. And it's not that OKC is a bad team or nothing like that. OKC is obviously phenomenal, number 1 seed, doing their thing. But yes, SGA has the experience in there. I'm just not certain that all the other guys around SGA will be able to maintain their composure come playoffs. Like, just for an example, remember LeBron going to the finals every single year in his crazy streak of going to the Western Conference Finals. Times where he lost the series or times where he lost games in the playoffs, it was always, well, damn it, he didn't do his job. Dwayne Wade wasn't aggressive. Ray Allen was missing threes. Chris Bosh didn't do his job. Mike Miller ain't make three. The blame always went toward other players who was on the team with LeBron. And yeah, LeBron had plenty of playoff experience, but the other guys were just inconsistent in certain times where they wasn't making threes and they weren't playing up to par. And that comes with playoff experience. That's why adding Ray Allen was such a huge addition, because this is a guy, won a championship, plenty of experience, and he's going to be able to lock in and make sure his game is at a peak when he's in the playoffs. But with the Oklahoma City Thunder, I just don't see that happening. Only person I can double down on and know for sure they're going to lock in and bring their A game every single night in the playoffs is SGA. Outside of that, Dort, yeah, he might be all right. But Chet, I don't have much faith that he'll be, 100% locked in and actually taking care of business in the playoffs. And then one of the things, too, we talk about OKC, and I'll bring it back to the Warriors, but this is a potential matchup, which is why I have to elaborate on Oklahoma City. So Hartenstein is there. Hartenstein's a big body. He does his thing. Nice. But when Chet is in the game without Hartenstein, he gets bullied. And it's more of a size thing. Statistically, you can argue, oh, well, no, he's doing just as good, or he's doing this, he's doing that, whatever. That's cool. But a Rudy Gobert versus Chet is getting bullied. Even a Julius Randle, Chet is getting bullied. He's still little, and he's still lightweight down there when it comes to a lot of guys. And yes, he helps on the offensive end, but he's still lightweight. And even comparing it back to the matchup of the Warriors, Draymond Green against Chet, Draymond is bodying him. He's putting the body on him. He's putting a pause on him. So I think, Warriors, when you look at any other team in the Western Conference right now, it's not really a team where it's like, okay, they for sure have a loss coming in the series, in a 7-game series, if they play the Warriors. The only team I can think of where if the Warriors play them in 7 games, they out of there, Denver Nuggets. They up out of there, man. They up out of there. I would love to see a Warriors and Lakers matchup, but I mean, I think Warriors still would have a chance in that situation. I'm not saying, they would dominate the Lakers and just absolutely smack them up and win by 30 and sweep them. No. Any series that the Warriors get in will be a dogfight, and I don't think that's up for debate at all. No matter who they play, I think either way we see a dogfight in this matchup, whether it's OKC, Houston, Denver, Lakers, Memphis. Like either way, Warriors in the playoffs is going to be a dogfight, but they're not a team you can rest on because they do got great players. I mean, don't forget, we seen Steph Curry literally go win a championship and win a finals with just him and Clay. Clay didn't even really do much. But that Celtics finals in 2022, come on, man. Steph showed that why he's one of the greats of this era. So you can't count him out in a 7-game series. And I mean, come on, man. Did y'all seriously forget too in the Olympics? Did you forget how Steph was playing in the Olympics? I feel like every time somebody start doubting Steph Curry, oh, he's not there. He's old. He's not, don't have enough. That's when he starts shooting lights out, winning ball games, winning playoff series, and now people looking silly. And now they don't want to hear why he's the best point guard of all time. So I'm going to just leave it at that. Anyway, we got a voicemail caller, so don't go anywhere. We'll actually go ahead, tap into that now. And he was referring to, the movie thing. So I dropped my top 5 movie list, football movies, and I had a couple of different things on there, actually. So just to kind of run through the list before I play the voicemail again and give you a heads up, I had Friday Night Lights on there. I got to go back and actually find the list. But I had a good amount of team or a good amount of guys on there, movies. So I'm going to just brief through it. I think this was correct. Whatever. It don't matter. Friday Night Lights was number 1. Remember the Titans was on there. The one with Jamie Foxx and what was that one called? Man, I can't remember. Of course, I knew it was gonna happen. I'll come back to it. I had Draft Day on there, and then I had the Waterboy on there, the Adam Sandler film, and I thought those was a great selection. It was Any Given Sunday. That was the one I was missing. So my 5, I had Friday Night Lights, just to catch you up on the conversation. Friday Night Lights was on there. Any Given Sunday, Remember the Titans, Waterboy, and Draft Day. That was my top 5 football movies ever made. And I was telling people, I didn't really get a chance to watch Rudy and American Underdog, some of those stuff. So that's what this voicemail is about. Let's hear it, man. Let's do it.
With Cash, and
it's good.
I agree with all your picks, but you got to take, or most of them, you got to take out Any Given Sunday for Greater, man. That's a good movie.
Ooh.
You need to go watch it.
See, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can take out Any Given Sunday. Any Given Sunday. And I know I haven't seen Greater either, so I'm going to have to just really go back and watch this to evaluate and know what I'm missing out on and if it goes in the top 5 or not. But with Any Given Sunday, no, I can't replace that one. I would replace, before I replace Any Given Sunday, I would probably take out Draft Day. Just because Draft Day didn't have a crazy amount of football action. It wasn't like super action-packed. It was more so behind the scenes of seeing how GMs work out and seeing the things that they do. And it was still very exciting. And they were trying to find prospects and all of that. But I'm gonna just have to watch greater. I hope you're right. But I can't take out any given Sunday. I can't, man. I can't do that. But of course, I appreciate you calling, bro. If you listening and you want to go ahead and leave a quick take, holler at us and let me know what you think. What movies in your top 5 of all-time football movies? Leave us a quick take, 219-413-9405. Of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. And then from there, we'll respond, give us some context and all of that. But look, don't go anywhere. We got some news for the run happening. And, that's coming up too. And then some stuff about the Atlanta Falcons, man. My team, that whole Kirk Cousins thing drive a lot of people crazy. And being a Falcons fan, it's only right if I say something. All right, we'll be right back. It's halftime.
Introducing Instagram teen accounts, a new way to keep your teens safer as they grow, like making sure they've got the right gear for riding.
Knee pads.
Check.
And helmet.
Done. See you, Dad.
New Instagram teen accounts, automatic protections for who can contact your teen and the content they can see.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, or CR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline, or a 2.99% APR on a 2025 CR-V.
See dealer for financing details.
All right, so let's get into it, man. I got some news for the run here, and I'm going to start off in the NBA. They actually got a lot going on in the NBA. You're starting to see a lot of guys rest and recover now because you're at the back end of the season. So Oklahoma City Thunder, they play the 76ers tonight, and they're going to be resting multiple starters, including SGA, because there's really no sense for them to play, and they'll still probably win because it's the 76ers. Another thing, too, so Steve Kerr, he's giving Steph Curry the night off, even though they play the Milwaukee Bucks. And this kind of going to be, you really need to lock in on this playoff push. But maybe, just maybe, the Warriors are trying to fall back to the 7th seed, play in, and target their opponent in the playoffs of the Rockets or the Oklahoma City Thunder. Who knows? However, either way, they're coming off a tough loss to the Denver Nuggets. And now they're probably going to lose again against the Milwaukee Bucks. But anyway, kind of on, it was a concern to a lot of people, but Tracy Morgan, comedian, actor, he was at the Knicks game the other day and he just started puking, started letting loose. And as of now, they're saying, the cause for that was just food poison at MSG. And, nobody really knows what's going on, but this is what the league is saying. And this is what multiple reports are saying. However, let me just go ahead and give you some of the standings of where people are right now. So I told you a little bit about the Western Conference, so I'm not going to repeat too much about that. Just know OKC is the number 1 seed right now, and seeds 2 all the way through seed number 8 are about 4 to 3 games apart. So that seed is going to be changing a lot. So just keep an eye out on that. Going to the Eastern Conference, the Cleveland Cavaliers, that win streak that they had is over. It was a 15-game win streak or 16-game win streak, but they ended up losing to the Orlando Magic, and it was a close game. But now, they're still rolling, still number 1 seed, still got the playoff spot secured. Celtics also secured that playoff spot as well. And then 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th seed, you got the New York Knicks at the 3rd seed, Milwaukee Bucks at the 4th seed, Pacers 5th, Pistons at the 6th seed, and then in the play-in games right now, got Atlanta Hawks, Orlando Magic, Chicago Bulls, Miami Heat. Them playoff teams, man. The playoff or the play-in games, I still don't really like it, to be honest, man. I think the play-in is still something that's just kind of whack to have. Yes, it does give you more basketball, but it's, what is the point of it's just whack, man. I don't know. I struggle. I go back and forth about that. However, let's move over to the NFL, because the NFL had a couple of different things, and as you know, free agency and all of that stuff still has its lingering effects. But going over to the free agency, so cornerback Jeff Okudah, He just signed a new 1-year deal with the Minnesota Vikings. And then also college football 25 or college football 26, I guess. EA Sports, they're offering athletes $1,500 to opt in the next year's college football game. This is going to be college football 26. And apparently the cover was leaked out. So Ryan Williams, Alabama wide receiver. I'll be talking about Bama later. Go ahead, check it out, The Voice of College Football. My host, me and Brady on there. But yeah, apparently Ryan Williams took a picture at the shoot for College Football 26, the video game, and they had the poster in the background for the deluxe edition. So that's how it works out. So you just got to be careful nowadays, and you never really know. However, you got other stuff happening in the league. So one of the things in the NFL that I did want to touch on and wanted to mention was Kirk Cousins. So Kirk Cousins, man, he makes a lot of money. And you know, people were concerned because Kirk Cousins is not traded off the Atlanta Falcons just yet. He's still a part of the team, even though there was multiple rumors about Kirk Cousins possibly leaving and where he'll go and if the Falcons are going to be in a rush to try and ship him off somewhere and all of that stuff. No, it ain't happening, man. And I'm on the side for Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons right now. The Falcons shouldn't be in any type of rush to get rid of Kirk Cousins. And yes, he has this huge contract that's kind of putting him in a hole. But apparently, our GM has been saying they factored in the cost. And they made sure that if it was a situation where they had to eat the cost, it was already prepared for. So just to give you a little background on how much Kirk Cousins is making, it was an overpay last year. But they signed him for 4 years, $180 million, including a $50 million signing bonus, and also $100 million guaranteed out of that $180 million contract. It was mind-blowing. I don't know how his agent has been doing it. He's been getting away with this for years. But ultimately, you know, this is a hefty contract for the Atlanta Falcons, a team that doesn't have much cap room and a team that's also trying to put together other pieces. So although the Falcons have been putting together some more pieces and bringing other people there, we got multiple defensive linemen that was added to the team this offseason so far. You got a couple linebackers, a couple defensive linemen as well. And this stuff is cool. Like, I love that, you know, they're trying to be active and they're trying to fill in these gaps with the Atlanta Falcons defense and the offensive line and stuff. I do appreciate that effort. But the thing is here, I can't really respect it from the Atlanta Falcons because what we're doing isn't anything significant that's making us better than what we were last year. When you look at the defense that we had last year and you compare it to the defense that we have now, it was not better. And this is a problem that we knew we had to fix literally since week maybe 7 in the regular season. Everybody watching the games could clearly tell, okay, the Falcons they gotta lock in on defense. They gotta get a defensive line. They gotta get some linebackers that can cover and that can tackle. This has been a problem. So for them, free agency to not really make that big move yet or to make anything happen just yet, it is a little disappointing. And hopefully, you know, they're not done. It's a long offseason. You still got plenty of time. We ain't even hit the June or July mark yet, which is really when it's dead space and a lot can change. But, you know, for me, just evaluating this team and kind of going back and thinking like, okay, well, did this team truly get better than what they were last year? And did they truly get better, including some of the pieces that they lost this offseason? Did they fill those gaps with great players and stuff like that? No, I can't really say they did. I can't say the Falcons did. Right now, we look like the same team that might finish out maybe 10-7 or 9-9, whatever the case is. Like, you know, it's nothing that's very impressive right now. And, you know, hopefully they continue on to build something. I know Penix has the tight end, Pitts. Kyle Pitts has a big contract year coming up, which is going to be huge for the Atlanta Falcons. And, you know, if Kyle Pitts comes out and he's balling, he's doing his thing, he's showing everybody like, hey, I'm here, I'm the receiver that you guys, or I'm the tight end, receiver, however you want to play it. I'm the guy y'all thought I was in year 1, year 2. If he comes out and he plays, he's making one-handed catches and stuff like that, then all right, we ain't got no reason to not pay the man. But he's already getting a hefty contract out of the Atlanta Falcons. And he was a high pick from the Atlanta Falcons, but it's something that is a little concerning with them, with the Falcons, considering the main problem that we were supposed to fix, we never really even fixed. So that's like my main thing. And let me just go ahead and go over some of the people that we brought in, from free agency so far. So we brought in defensive end, Leonard Floyd, and he's a fairly solid guy, veteran in the league, definitely does his part, does the dirty work, and he's going to be a presence. I don't think he's the game changer, the game-changing difference maker is like, when did the Falcons sign him type of vibe. I don't think that's the case at all, but he's definitely a guy who can hold his own out there on the field. He played with the 49ers for multiple years, and he has some experience as well. So Georgia boy coming home pretty much. You got defensive tackle Morgan Fox, also going to help fill a gap on that line. Nothing that's really super exciting. Mike Ford Jr., cornerback. Kadero Hodge, very happy we signed Kadero Hodge. I think he's super young right now, still got plenty of time to develop, but I think this is a dude who can become one of the elite wide receivers in Atlanta right now. Obviously, we've seen glimpses of him on the return team, had some great returns. He had the huge catch against the Buccaneers that really helped him out as well. So, I'm okay with that. And then another signing, some people was excited about it, but Divine Diablo, this didn't move me much. Any of the signings that the Falcons have gotten right now, it's just not moving me much right now, man. Like, no matter who you tell me they signed, it's not the big name where I'm like stopping whatever I'm doing and I'm like, oh, whoa, we signed them. Let me go jump on a pod and talk about it real quick. That's been a big reason why I haven't given a long breakdown about the Falcons and what they've been doing, because nothing has really made me go, wow, the Falcons signed this dude. Or wow, they signed him. Like, no, none of that has happened. So hopefully, they continue to make something happen. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm talking a lot, talking a spicy game right now, but hopefully, they really lock in and make something happen in the offseason. However, that's all I got for y'all. Look, March Madness is here too. Kind of wanted to brush on it in the news, but I didn't get a chance to. But, fill out the brackets. I'll be, trying. I'll try. I'm not going to give full episodes and stuff on brackets and all of that, because a lot of it just happened very quick and we don't record enough to, we don't record enough to get, game results, because it's a lot of games that happen. And as soon as one big moment happens, another big moment happens and it's no longer relevant. So, stuff like that. But I think I'm going to go with probably Alabama or Arizona to win. Alabama's good in basketball now, which is just weird, but I don't know, whatever. And that's not even me being biased, but whatever. It is what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna leave y'all on a positive note here, man. And a positive note is just make sure you take some time to recharge for yourself. Whatever that is, whatever it may look like, take some time to recharge for yourself. If you're running a marathon, at some point you're gonna have to get some water if you want to keep continuing to run. You're gonna have to go to sleep in order to feel rejuvenated for the next day at some point. So do whatever you got to do to recharge. Other than that, man, that's all I got for you today. Real simple, positive note. Send this to a cousin, a brother, an uncle, niece, nephew, coworker, friend, family member, anybody you know. I promise you they're not going to care. Just send it their way anyway. And then, man, follow us on the socials at The Run Podcast. Follow my personal as well at I am Manny Wilson. And man, we'll be back later on this week, and so on and so on and so on.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, or CR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline, or a 2.99% APR on a 2025 CR-V.
See dealer for financing details.